What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new one for everybody tonight. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Kind of, this weather's been up and down. I don't think we're gonna get too much more hot weather. You never know.
It's been weird, man. What a weird start to July up here. Pretty much has rained every single day, at least a little bit. After some scorchers there to end June. But yeah, it'd be nice to get some sun again.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's just been cloudy, raining, cloudy. It's like, I guess people didn't want the heat after that first week.
Yeah, they were tired of it, or 3 days in the 90s, and they wanted winter back.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I can't wait for fall now. No.
Well, welcome to the Northeast. Everyone complains about the winter when it's here and the summer when it's here.
Oh yeah, I think people do that in general. I mean, let's get right into it. I mean, we got the NBA going on, finals. I mean, the game 3 was the other night. I mean, Bucks came out strong. They put the smack down on the Suns. It was interesting that they took Booker out so early, and then they didn't put him back in. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what comes next game, because Milwaukee plays like a totally different team when they're at home.
Yeah, I feel like it's been like that for the last few years, at least too, with Milwaukee. They just, I don't know if it's a shooting thing. I think just shooters in general are more comfortable at home.
Yeah.
Obviously they're used to the where they are on the floor and used to the background and all that good stuff. So I think it's the same, for the Suns. I think they play better at home too. I think that's just the nature of basketball. But yeah, I think it's like markedly different for the Bucks, especially with Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I think whoever can win the first away game, I think that's gonna make the big difference. So I mean, if neither team can win an away game, Phoenix gonna win at 7. But whoever can win the away game is gonna take control of the series.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I mean, series doesn't start until home team loses a game, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We'll see what see what the Suns can do tomorrow. Come back. I felt like Ayton got a little abused by Giannis. Kind of started in game 2 and kind of went into game 3. I think Giannis played some of the best basketball I think I've seen him play in a while. So if he can keep that up, it's gonna be tough for the Suns. I still think the Suns are the better team and should probably win it all. But you can see we've seen what happens when a guy like this can get hot. He can carry a team. So. I think that just like in the last series, I think the Suns, I think they need to win this game in Milwaukee just to, stop the momentum a little bit. I'm not saying it's a must win, but I think that it's a game that is just below that type of a level because they don't want to, lose a fluke game in Phoenix somehow and then have to go back to Milwaukee down 3-2.
Yeah, I feel like if they can win this next game, it gives them a way, way better chance to win the series. Not to say they can't, but right. It's pretty much going to almost be a guaranteed victory if they can win the next game, just because how bad Milwaukee plays at home.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that this is a good one they need. This is one that they need. And that's, like you said, not a must win, but I think it's one that they need for sure.
And then your Team USA has been looking terrible. Your boy doesn't look like your boy Beal and Tatum. Doesn't look like they have 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I think the whole team's kind of struggling. I mean, Pop kind of set up the game. They didn't have their legs. How much of this is, them coming off a couple, maybe longer-ish seasons with going to the bubble, coming out, and then long season into the playoffs, and you're back at it again. Not to mention, these guys are in Vegas. Who knows what the hell they're doing at night? Finally with quarantines being over and things like that, these guys can be getting after it in Vegas. Not taking it seriously, figuring they can just show up to Tokyo and turn it on. But yeah, a little concerning. But I think we've seen this before. Not to this extent. I don't think it's been this bad. I think they've only lost 2 exhibition games total since '92. So they've matched that, but they definitely just look a little sluggish for sure.
Yeah. Do you think other countries are catching up, or do you think just because we don't have the best players out there?
Um, I'd say that, probably a little bit of both. I think that the other teams are getting better. I think just in general, to get to this level, you need to, obviously be the best in your country, but you need to specialize in basketball and play basketball all the time. Whereas I think, although we probably do that in the U.S. for a while, not as many other countries have.
Hmm.
So probably part of that, but and probably just like, I would say more of a lack of focus is what it seems like. They're not playing as a team. They're trying to play the individual style. Whereas these other teams, you can tell, play as a team. There's no, stars that are dominating them. I mean, Matthew Dellavedova kind of crushed them, right? And so, I think it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, I didn't realize Mike Brown was coaching Nigeria when they beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And that team also had 5 NBA players on there. So, but I think it's a mixture of both. I think we don't have our best players out there, and then I also think some teams are catching up. I think the NBA's we're not as big as we used to be. So, like if you think about that '92 team, which is like the greatest, the dream team, they probably had like 3 7-footers. Like I think the smallest person there was like maybe 6'3" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I feel like that was we were used to putting out big teams as far as bigs, post players, dominating inside, great defensive players. But I think now we're a lot smaller as far as like a lot of the players are more outside inside game rather than inside outside game. So
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Like it may too be that the game's changing a little bit, right? A lot of these guys a lot of the NBA's turned into 3-point shooting, and I don't know how well that translates into this FIBA, the international style, where the game's a little more physical.
yeah, I feel like back in the day it was a lot more physical. So we used to just impose our will on people, whether it be Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson, Shaq,
Yeah,
Karl Malone.
yeah.
But I think
That's what I'm
now
saying.
it's
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying though. They had the big bodies to be physical, whereas the game, I think, the international game is still physical, but in the U.S. at least the NBA isn't anywhere near where it used to be. So these guys I feel like they get pushed around a little bit in these international games because it is a little more physical, and they're not calling ticky tack fouls. You're not getting superstar type calls. These and just the slight rule changes, I think, probably affect them a little bit more.
Hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Because I mean, sometimes I feel like what a player gets pushed on Team USA, they're looking for a call
Hmm.
rather than it's a different physicality when you're playing USA basketball or Olympic basketball.
Yep.
It's not like those refs really don't care who you are. They don't know who you are. I mean, they
Nope.
might, but it's not like they know your playing style. They know how people follow you, etc. They're calling the game how they're used to calling it.
Yep. Nope. I totally agree. I think they're just going to call it how they. They're not being influenced at all by the star power of the NBA players.
Oh yeah. And then it looks like your boy Suggs is climbing up the draft boards, man. They project him to go second now in these new mock drafts that came out. I wonder if it's just hype or teams are really liking him.
I just from watching the tournament, obviously didn't watch a ton of Gonzaga because they're on late and I go to bed early. But watching the tournament, I just felt like he's got a lot of basketball knowledge
Hmm.
at a young age. I don't think he's definitely not the most athletic guy, but I feel like he just has those basketball instincts that sometimes take years to develop in some of these guys, and stuff that you can't teach kids, right? No matter how athletic or how talented they are, it's just there's something to say about a young kid that has a good basketball mind, and that's what I saw when I watched him play a lot.
Hmm.
And that's why I thought he was, to me, he was pretty impressive, and he's not afraid of the big stage, and obviously showed himself in the tournament. So I thought he was, I know people are still going to go Cade Cunningham just based on the talent. I thought
Hmm.
I thought in the tournament that Suggs was a better player.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like he was definitely a better leader,
Yeah,
throughout the season. But I mean, also, I think people also give him a little drop down because of that roster they had
sure.
over in Gonzaga. But and he's a little bit smaller, than Cunningham. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can't compare him to anybody as far as NBA players. Like, what does the game translate to me? What it translates to? But I mean, he's definitely somebody up there that I wouldn't mind having on the team. But I wonder if people see him more as a 1 or as a 2.
I think he's a 1. I think he's like a Magic Johnson type, big 1.
Well, no, not Cunningham. Suggs.
Yeah. I mean, Suggs is what, 6'3"?
Yeah.
I still think I think he's still a 1. I think he facilitates well. I think that I don't, obviously gotta watch more of his shooting, but I think he's more of a pass first player that can take over when he needs to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see till what team picks him up. I mean, he'll probably go after 2, so anywhere between that 3 to 5 range probably, or unless the team moves up to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Then Magic signed a new head coach, Mosley, black hire. That was an interesting one. I didn't see that coming, but I felt like a lot of people didn't really interview for that job. So
no, he's a younger guy too. Or am I mixing him up with the Pelicans coach?
No, I think I want to say he's in his like 40s.
Assistant somewhere. Was he the assistant?
Yeah, in Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was the one that a lot of people thought was going to take over in Dallas because the players really liked him, and I think he got quite a few. I thought he had quite a few interviews.
Well, no, I don't think many people interviewed for the Magic job.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, right after kind of Penny took his name out, it felt like it was pretty quiet after that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much didn't hear any buzz as far as anybody else interviewing for the job. Yeah, he's 42, so
yep.
So I mean, kind of young on the young side.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with those draft picks, as well as what they try to do in free agency.
Yeah,
it's been a while since people wanted to go to Orlando. So
yep.
So I mean, they're pretty much in a rebuilding culture. Hopefully they can get it done.
Yeah,
give them an opportunity too. So
they decimated their roster at the trade deadline. So
yeah, and then they were like a playoff team too. So I was kind of surprising, but
yeah.
Hey, sometimes you got to build it up, scratch, build it, tear it down to rebuild it bigger. So
exactly.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, on to MLB.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty much this All-Star week. It looks like your boy P. Alonso went back to back in this home run derby.
Yeah, he really turned it up at the end there. I thought obviously the spotlight was on Ohtani coming in. Yeah, I think P. Alonso was kind of the quiet returning champion. I felt like he didn't get any buzz at all.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
And he just came in and hit bombs again. Fun to see in Colorado, in the Coors Field there.
Oh yeah, I mean it was close. I mean in those semi rounds he squeaked by.
Yeah.
I think he won by 1 twice. I mean Ohtani had that first round they went to elimination, right?
Yep.
So I mean it was very unexpected.
Yeah, and Trey Mancini coming back from cancer a couple years ago, being in the finals was kind of cool too.
Yeah, but I mean, baseball's getting a lot of star power from the home run derby.
They are, they had.
It's good to see.
They did, and it's interesting too, like because they had the star power. Obviously, they have Alonso, Gallo, Ohtani, etc., Soto, and I was listening because they had asked Rafi Devers from the Red Sox to be in it, and he declined, and he basically had said that he would do it, but he just doesn't think he's a good enough home run hitter in batting practice, and it was almost like Alex Cora too, that his coach was like, I kind of wish he did it. Whereas like I feel like in other like the dunk contest or anything like that, these guys are like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Nah, whatever. It's not worth it. I don't want to hurt myself. Whatever. But I feel like even in the past too with baseball, guys have been kept out of it because they thought it would screw up their swings. But I feel like the way that MLB's trending with trying to essentially hit as many home runs as they can, swinging for the fences, I don't think that it affects them that much.
I think MLB's this is like their next wave of superstars.
Yeah.
So, from what I'm seeing, man, is looking like it's in good hands as far as what MLB is doing to push the brand. Getting players out there. I mean, I think now is one of the times we have a lot more recognizable faces in MLB.
They do, and I think that it's really been kind of like a coming out party here for Ohtani, right? I mean, he's modern day Babe Ruth, but I feel like they've put a lot of focus on him because he's in the home run derby. He led off for the AL tonight. He's pitched in the first inning. He's kind of showcasing everything he can do, right? And then you got Fernando Tatis, Vladdy Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think they got a lot of star power this year.
Yeah, and it's kind of like spread out too. So I mean, you're getting like one or two guys from almost every team now. So
yeah, just pull it.
Yeah, I mean the Pirates went ahead and drafted Henry Davis from Louisville, catcher, not with the number one pick in the 2021 draft.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting interesting pick. I know that catchers are tough to come by, but I felt like passing up on like a Jack Leiter or even this Marcelo Mayer kid that a lot of people thought was going to go top 3 was an interesting move. But obviously they like I said, there's just not a lot of catchers. So if you can kind of excel at that position or you can be elite at that position, then you have a step on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of pitchers that were going too. So I think it was like 5 of the top 10 were pitchers.
Yep, 5 of the top 10.
So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see, how this turns out, especially with the Pirates using that pick, which was kind of unexpected. What everyone thought they were going, but hopefully that's what, based off their evaluations, that's what brings them back to where they want to be as far as out of the lottery, getting into playoffs, etc.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Vanderbilt had their top 2 pitchers go in the top 10. I mean, Jack Leiter, obviously Al Leiter's son. Not that anyone that watched the College World Series would be, sick of hearing and seeing Al Leiter in the stands. But and I felt like the Mets got a pretty good deal there with Kumar Rocker dropping all the way to 10. He's a big dude, 6'5", I think.
Yeah.
250 pounds, the mean slider. So yeah, I think those 2 guys were kind of the pitchers that people knew just based on the College World Series. And then the Red Sox it seems like from everyone scouting people that the Red Sox got a deal at 4 drafting Marcelo Mayer out of East Lake High School. Looks like a 5-tool player, but at shortstop, which they kind of have a guy there.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Yeah, not that you can move. Typically, you can move high school shortstops to pretty much any position. They usually stick them at short because that's the kind of the hardest position to play in high school. That's where you put your best player.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to see where they look to move them.
Yeah, I think Bogarts too is pretty realistic with the idea that he may not, spend the rest of his career in Boston. I know he said it a couple times now and he's got Boris as an agent, and he's got an opt-out after this year. So, I guess we'll find out where that lays. But my guess is he's opting out because he's only making $20 million a year, and a guy like with his stats is
only 28.
No, 20.
Only
20.
Only 20.
But look at these open market deals for like Machado and Tatis, even with it, him being young and getting the big deal. I think there's just a lot of money thrown around right now, and whereas Bogarts maybe took a deal early with this idea that he can opt out after a few years in playing as well as he has the last couple of years, it's almost like to me a no-brainer to opt out. Whether or not he stays with the Red Sox is a different story. But he's going to be looking for, I'd say, at least a 25 to 30 million a year, and longer term, you're probably looking like an 8-year, $240 million contract, something like that.
Yeah, not even that, but like where he's going to go. Hopefully not to the Dodgers, because I just feel like they just
scooping him up.
Yeah, just collecting talent there for no reason. But maybe somewhere out west. I don't think the Yankees are going to try to go after him, but
you never know. You never know with the Yankees. You never know what kind of pressure they're going to be under in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, they're under a lot of pressure now. So it also depends if they changed coaches and everything like that. So
Yep. All right. So we got the final major of the year on the PGA Tour.
hmm
Across the pond, over in England, they're playing at Royal St. George's this year, which I believe is it's in Sandwich.
yep,
Um,
in 2 days.
yeah, it's a relatively long course for a British Open course. They got some longish holes there, really kind of right on the water. They bank on the weather there to keep the scores down, but a lot of bumps and weird rollouts and things like that. So I think in terms of majors, obviously the Masters is the go-to, and everyone loves the U.S. Open. But for me, this one is like one of the most fun to watch because it's a different style of golf typically than what is normally played in the U.S. And I feel like in these tournaments, it's like open field. I think anyone can win. You don't have to
hmm
hit the ball far. It's all about your short game, getting up and down, and staying out of trouble, getting in the fairway. We saw quite a few. I don't know how many years ago now, but Tom Watson at 65 was in the hunt on Sunday. Actually had a chance to win it there. Ended up losing the playoff, but I think we saw it with Darren Clark a few years ago, winning it. In older age, and even it just historically, I feel like anyone can win this. So it's fun to me. It's fun for me because it's just a different style of golf, and watching the win, get these guys, and the high grass, and it's almost like if I were out there, I'd be doing the same thing, kind of deal. It's not length doesn't necessarily do you any good sometimes in these tournaments, so they're fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it looks like your boy John Ram's favorite to win it.
He
Um,
is, yeah. He's been playing. Obviously, won the U.S. Open. Played really well last week at the Scottish Open, which I actually watched quite a bit of because I was just curious how a lot of U.S. Players play in there. Yeah, I think he's just striking the ball well. He's seems to just hit putts when he needs to hit them. So he's obviously the odds-on favorite, and then I think you got a handful of guys behind him, and Brooks Koepka, obviously
yeah,
I think he's like
Spinks and
Spieth.
Kepper.
Yep,
hmm
Spieth plays well at the Open. It just suits certain guys' game a little bit better. People who can control it off the tee and can get the putter going, and I think Koepka and Spieth are two of those guys, right? So
Oh yeah,
it'll like I said, this is a fun one for me to watch, and also it starts at like 2 a.m. So
yeah.
if you wake up in the middle of the night, or you have to get up early for work, it's on TV. It's on basically all day.
hmm
The sun doesn't go down in in England until about 10:30, so they play till 7:38 at night over there. So you get golf from 1 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, it's exciting. We didn't get the Open last year, so see what happens. It's been a little stressful for these guys though with the COVID protocols and things like that.
hmm
Had a lot of withdrawals. Unfortunately, I mean, we're fortunate here to have access to the vaccines and other things that have allowed us to kind of open up a little bit, but not so much in other parts of the country. I mean, the UK has been pretty good, but bringing in people from all over, they've had to be careful for this. So you saw guys like Bubba Watson, Zach Johnson, and a few others that have had to kind of pull out.
Oh yeah. So I mean, we're gonna see in 2 days who can beat this obstacle course and
that's
take home that jacket.
it's almost what it is too. It's like you just hit some weird shots. I got the chance to play in Ireland once, and it's just different, right? You got to keep the ball low. Got to run it up on the greens. The greens are typically like concrete, so you can't always fly balls in. You got to land it short, bounce it up, things like that. And it's more of like a I don't know, like a science, I guess. So it's fun to just create shots that you wouldn't do necessarily at some of the courses over here.
Oh yeah. I feel like it's I don't want to say like what is it, miniature golf where they have like all those
Yeah,
obstacles you got to like hit around.
yeah,
But I mean, it's pretty much gonna be like that as far as the terrain.
yeah. That's what it's like. I mean, you got to play the terrain, play what's there, play what's in front of you. So you get to see some fun shots, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a wild weekend too.
Oh yeah.
And it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Got a brand new edition of JD's Bites and Brews for you. What do you got for us?
All right, so we got a deconstructed BLT.
What?
So hear me out. It's almost like it's supposed to be like a BLT type sauce over some chicken and pasta.
Okay.
So here's how you make it, right? So you fry your bacon, set that off to the side, save a little bit of the bacon grease. Then you got your chicken, which is flavored with salt, pepper, and ranch seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So you mix that all up, throw it in, get it nice and brown, kind of sear it for 4 to 5 minutes aside. Take that off, put it to the side, and then you make the sauce. So the sauce is, depending how healthy you want to get, you can put variations of this in. But we did a coconut milk, non-dairy cream cheese, lemon juice, and Dijon mustard. Stirred it all up, threw it in there, then added brought that to a boil, kind of thickened it up a little bit. Added spinach and tomato. So spinach was basically our quote unquote lettuce. You can use kale or whatever. So then it'll kind of wilt a little bit, give it a little green. Cut up some grape tomatoes, throw those in there. Let that all kind of mesh for a couple minutes. Take the heat off and add the chicken back in. And then, we have the wheat. We made a wheat pasta as the base. And, throw that all over. Throw the bacon back in. Add some scallions. And top it with some tomatoes. So it's like a take on a deconstructed BLT over pasta with a nice little cream sauce.
Sounds like I don't say like a casserole, but like a
yeah.
It sounds like you combined spinach and artichoke dip with buffalo chicken dip and topped it with some bacon.
The chicken you keep whole. You don't cut up the chicken, so you keep that whole. So basically, like you toss the chicken on the pasta. You pour that bacon cream sauce with your quote unquote lettuce on top. So it was actually, it as I was kind of making it, I don't know how this is going to be. This is kind of a weird one, but it all kind of works well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with chicken, bacon, cheese, tomatoes. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
This is true. This is true.
And what are you drinking that down with?
All right. So didn't have one tonight, but conversation from the weekend. So I want to throw this out there to you, and I don't know if you're a seltzer drinker or not. We haven't really brought up seltzers on this segment before, but obviously it's a hot trend in the beer world. Pretty much every brewery you go to now, not every, but most, I'd say, maybe 90% of the breweries I've been to over the past 4 or 5 months have all had some version of a seltzer, and more coming out. And I'm trying to, I like them because they're light, they're good for the summer, lower calories, especially, trying to, lose some pounds. The heavy IPAs, although delicious, do creep up on you a little bit. So just going back to the, the original point here is, what is your favorite seltzer if you drink them? So I've had, a bunch, and then I try to get them when I go to the different breweries. And there's one at Greater Good. There's a black cherry one there that's pretty good. And it's at 8%. So that one was good. But my fallback continues to go back to the watermelon White Claw. It's just like one of my favorite flavors in a drink. And it's just like, I feel like I could drink like 1,000 of those. They're just like so refreshing. And if you're sitting out, like we were at Saratoga Lake over the weekend and just sitting in the tube on the lake, just ripping back some White Claws, some watermelon claws. So that's my go-to. And no rating on this, but I think they're just awesome.
Yeah, White Claws are awesome. I'm gonna throw some other names out there in case.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of the Topo Chico hard seltzers.
Topo Chico.
Yeah,
Who makes
they got
those?
some good flavors. They have like a strawberry guava. They have like a lime. They got a mango one.
Okay, no, I hadn't
Those
heard
are
of
pretty
those.
good. The what is it? The Bud Light ones. Those are not
Yeah,
bad either.
those are okay. Those are okay.
Um,
They got some decent flavors there. The high noons are pretty good. We had this other one this weekend that was
there's a blueberry raspberry.
mm-hmm.
And then there's like a cherry something. I forget what that one is.
Yeah, we had this one from Sparkling Ice Spiked Hard Seltzer. They're 80 calories, sugar free. They're pretty good. So my issue sometimes with these sugar free ones is they
Too much
put the
sugar.
no, they put the fake stuff in there and like the stevia or whatever that they're using for fake sugar, and it just
Yeah,
leaves a
yeah.
weird. It just gives me like a weird aftertaste. Like Truly
Taste,
does
yeah.
it. Like I
hmm
can't stand Truly's. I can't stand that taste.
Yeah, it kind of throws it off.
Yeah, it's like good up front, and then it just kind of like I don't know. It almost like dries your mouth out. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
because then after you're like, oh, I need something to like wash my mouth out with. Like, I
yeah,
drink some water.
exactly.
But yeah, those are my other good ones I like. Besides the White Claw, and then there was I'm trying to think, there was Jose Cuervo had one I had which wasn't bad. It was like a grapefruit, and I really
Hmm.
don't really like grapefruit. Had like 90 or 100 calories. It's only like a 4.5, alcohol. So
Yep. Yeah, that's why I like them. You can kind of like hang out and have a few of them without having to worry about how you're getting home.
oh yeah, but the don't do what I did when I was 18 and drink like 18 of them. So
Yeah, you still got to know your limit, Rich.
yeah. But I was like, I think that was my first time ever having them. So I was like, and we were like outside at a graduation party. They had them like out on the deck, and I was just going to work. It's like, man, these are so good because it was hot, and
Yeah.
they were like brick cold. I was like, oh man, these are so good. And then people like, I was like, there's alcohol in this. They're like, yeah, there's alcohol in it. But I was like, I didn't feel anything until I got home, and I was like, oh man, bleh.
Yeah, that could happen to the best of them, especially if you're just kind of sitting around, hanging out, and not moving around too much. Because once you get up, you could be like, "Oh boy, that was too many."
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't even think I was moving that much. But then I guess when I got back home, it was just like,
Just all hit you
oh
at
man,
once.
yeah. And, when you close your eyes and the room is still spinning. One of those.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Those one of those
Nope.
when you pray to God, like if I make it through this, I'll never drink
Never
again.
drinking again.
Yeah, but the next day you're back to drinking. So
Been there.
and then that's JD's Bites and Brew.
Yep.
And then wasn't really much this week in the BRR world. I think I don't think I really watched anything. I put on I was just looking for something on Netflix. I'm gonna have to go with you, man. Netflix probably got HBO Max beat, man. Um, they got a lot of stuff on there, man. I was just like, dang.
I know. That's why I said like it's not like HBO Max has the best TV shows. Like I'm talking quality wise, they have the best. Problem is there's just not enough of it.
Enough, yeah.
So like whereas Netflix is maybe a tier down in terms of quality, they have a lot of very good shows that you can
Yeah, man.
that you can choose from.
They got a lot of stuff on there, man. I just picked the show. I picked up Van Helsing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like about vampires and stuff.
Mhm.
Vampire apocalypse, pretty much. Uh, Obviously somebody related to the Van Helsing line,
Mhm.
fights vampires. So she kind of like it's kind of a little different twist from like what we originally heard about Van Helsing, where he's like the original vampire hunter. He's killing vampires. This one is kind of like she kind of is a vampire, but a human one. Like if she bites you or you taste her blood, then she changes you back to human. You can't
Yep.
be turned again.
Mhm.
So it's kind of going through that, and then like her fighting the vampire syndicate of like what they call elders and different breeds of vampires, but it only sticks to that. It doesn't really get into like werewolves and stuff like that, which I thought Van Helsing was an actual werewolf as well, or fought werewolves. But not bad so far. They got like 5 seasons of it. I'm in the starting the fourth. I'm probably giving it like a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Okay.
It's not bad, but it's also like kind of has like moments where like kind of cheesy. But overall, it's one of those shows like if you wanted to put on and if you need something to watch, if you're into like sci-fi fantasy stuff like vampires, stuff like that. It's definitely
Yep.
one of those shows you can definitely breeze through and watch it and be fine with.
Okay. So I started
And
watching started watching Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
Old TNT show.
I like that show.
Yeah, it's so far so good. Right at the end of season 1 here, and it definitely has keeps you engaged.
Yeah, I liked it because it was it reminds me of you remember Point Break?
Yep.
Kind of like that, but in the TV show format. But my only knock on that show is that I wish they did more like robberies or heist.
Yeah, they talk about it a lot. I feel like, and kind of like play it up, right?
Yeah, I feel like they were because I mean they're known around town as like the family, but I mean they don't really show them getting into many heists or doing stuff like that. I would have liked to see more of that. Why they got their name or what makes them so special at what they do compared to other people in the game. So
Yeah.
but I mean it gets good. Even though they pick up the heists and stuff like that. So far, who's your favorite person on the show?
It's tough. We're in season 1. Obviously, like Jay, he's kind of conflicted between his family and doing the right thing. Darren, I like Darren. I think he's a good character. Pope's a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm not, obviously 3 years in jail can turn you a little strange.
No, but
Baz,
he's like strange.
oh yeah, he's strange. Baz, I just feel like there's something weird with him. I don't know what it is yet. I think he's obviously he's like the leader of the crew. But I just feel like he's I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Like there's just something off about him. Like he could become unhinged pretty easily.
I mean, possibly. You never know, man. You just got to keep watching.
Yeah.
You got to keep watching. No, I'm not gonna give nothing away.
No, and I know he's also like he's kind of battling this, at least in season 1, battling the double life of, is that his son in Mexico, by the way? Maybe they bring it up later, but with the girl, I forget her name, Lucy or something. The girl he goes down to see, when he goes to Mexico.
No, I think that's her.
That's just hers.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering because I was wondering if it was his or not.
And then I'm trying to wait. Yeah, I don't think that's his. I think there's a girl.
Yeah, he's got the girl, Lena.
Yeah, the little girl. Yeah. But yeah, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away, but
yeah,
it gets good though. Good. New season just started. Waiting for the second one to drop, and I watched the first 2. But yeah, I like the show.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if this is the last season or not. But
yeah, I think 5 seasons is about where things start to you got to kind of wrap it up these days on these drama shows.
They get kind of diluted. They start extending stories that weren't there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some shows they go like 20 seasons, like Supernatural, and I think that's on like season 20. But I think this is the last one. But some shows they run. Grey's Anatomy's up there.
Yeah, I think some shows you can do it with, especially like comedy type shows. But I think these dramas are just hard to keep going. I mean, you see in Grey's Anatomy they kill off people and they have a lot of characters, I guess. So it keeps it kind of fresh, and they brought in new people and kind of worked them in pretty well. But overall, I just think that drama shows like this, especially in this day and age, I think 5 seasons, 6 seasons is probably where you gotta kind of end it.
Yeah, I mean, unless the show's like really, really good. But
yeah, but then you don't want to dilute it, right? I mean, you don't want to just drag it on and pick up, like, even Grey's Anatomy. I feel like which I don't know how long I've watched it now, many years, and it just ebbs and flows. Like there's some good episodes, and then there's some trash seasons. You're like, even like, I know things were different this past season, but it was just like hot garbage. But yeah, that's why I'd prefer if some of these shows just went 5 to 6 really good seasons and don't drag on storylines and just kill. I thought Sons of Anarchy started in one of my kind of favorite shows. I felt like they started to kind of drag it on, and they almost like realized it, and they just were like, nope, we're not doing this.
Yeah. So you got to end it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, we really don't talk much about reality TV shows. Which one of your top reality TV shows out right now?
Top reality TV shows. We're not really don't really watch. I watch them as they come out. So like Love Is Blind when that comes out, I'll watch it. Sometimes sneak in a little Real Housewives with Michelle when she's got it on, because those people are just like ridiculous human beings. Watch, from like, I guess, for reality TV that I've watched and I continue to watch, MasterChef, with Gordon Ramsay.
It's bloody raw.
No, not that one. I stopped watching.
Okay.
That one Hell's Kitchen got like out of control. MasterChef is like the beefed up version of that. So they take like home chefs that already have like some knowledge of cooking. Basically, try to like hone their skills and.
I like the kids one.
Yeah, kids one's good. So that's the one I've kind of watched on like season 11. I think I've watched every season. Really good show. You can't beat You can't beat Gordon Ramsay as a host. And they got this guy on there. What's his name? Joe. He's an Italian chef.
The bald guy.
Yeah, he's like the Simon from American Idol.
American Idol, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for some stuff to watch, I mean, there's a few I watch that are pretty entertaining. There's like Married at First Sight, where they pretty much pair couples up, and the first time you see him is like at the altar. So let's say like the first time you meet Michelle is like at the wedding, and then you have to like live together. You have to like live together for like 3 months, and then at the end of that, you decide whether or not you're going to stay married or you're going to divorce the person. So sometimes they get these couples paired up where, like last season, they had one of the guys that they paired up with one of the women. He said he got his ex-girlfriend pregnant, and then there was like a whole like thing with that, and then like he said his wife wasn't attractive, but he was still having sex with her. So it was like it was a lot of drama. So that was a good one. I mean, if you guys are looking to check something out. And then there's another one where it's kind of ratchet. It's called Love After Lockup. So these are people that are like writing people in prison that are like pen pals and waiting for them to get out. And then when they get out, they're like trying to be in a relationship. So like sometimes people are like messing with people that are actually talking to multiple people, and then they're just using that person for money. And then like another person gets out, they're crazy. So it's like a shit show, but it's one of those that when you're watching, you're like, how does this happen? And you feel much better about yourself.
That one sounds kind of wild.
Yeah, and then I mean, then there's the other ones we watch, like Love Is Blind, that's coming back in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's good. I thought that one's pretty good.
Yeah, there's another one that's called Love Island. It's on like CBS, but it comes on like every day. So during the summer, so you get like maybe like 20, 30 episodes of a season. So I think it just started now, maybe like a week ago. So you might have to watch it on demand to catch the other first 7 episodes, but it's pretty much on every day, or like every other day. So
what was
gives you something to watch there.
What was the one? I don't know if you watched it. The one with the therapist. I felt like I saw a lot of people talking about that. Oh, sex, and then life.
That's reality. I thought that was a show.
Oh, is it a show? I thought it was a reality show. Is it just a show?
Yeah, I thought it was a show. Yeah, I thought it was a show. I see. But yeah, there's a few out there.
I was gonna say the other reality show. I don't know if you've ever watched it. Probably have, but that I can't get enough of, and I just love is Naked and Afraid.
Oh no, I never watched that one.
Oh man, it is something else. So we've probably been watching it from season 1. It's kind of evolved. But basically, it's 2 people go into the woods, or kind of the normal show is 2 people go into the woods, a man and a woman, and they're given basically like, I think everyone now gets a fire starter. They didn't always, and then they get like something else they can bring. So they usually bring like a machete and a pot to boil water in or something like that.
Okay.
Basically, they got to survive in the woods or in wherever. It could be a beach, it could be the woods. They had one in Alaska. Naked and for 3 weeks, for 21 days. So they're not given anything else. So they got to hunt their own food. They got to make their shelter. They got to make a fire, stay warm, do all that. And it's a fun show to watch. And then, now they've gotten to these XL challenges. So they kind of like the I'd say the pros
Mm-hmm.
get in, and they got to stay in for 40 days, and they're in like groups of 3, and they kind of plot them all around. But the one that just finished up was a 60-day with the kind of the legends, quote unquote, like the best of the best. And
Okay.
they did 60 days in the bayou in Louisiana, in the swamp. It was really good. I mean, they were catching alligators and cooking them up, and dealing with cold weather. It was like, I think it was wintertime. It must have been wintertime because it was cold in Louisiana. It was like it got down into the 30s one night or a few
Mm-hmm.
nights. So watching them build these like shelters and hunt. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it sounds like a Survivor, but
It kind of,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just as opposed to having like a full season, typically it's just one show. So you go on to the next challenge, next week.
There was one that I liked, but I don't think it came back. It was called Hunted, I think, where people would so like they pay people like, so you'd have to run from the government for like 48 hours. And if
Hmm.
they couldn't find you or catch you, or maybe it was like a week or something, if they couldn't find you or catch you, you win like 100 grand. So
Really?
like, yeah, so they start you off like it'd be a couple. So it'd be like it could be you and a friend, you and a wife,
Yep.
or whatever. So they'd be like, all right, your time starts now. And then like you just start running. Like, so then like they send the government after you. So they had like an FBI team or whatever, and they would like search and try to find you. So like they would search like your aliases, like family members, like they would check to see if you went to an ATM to deposit money. So it was kind of cool. Like I think maybe one couple I saw like got away. Um,
Hmm.
like they were like off the grid for a week. But some people like they just do stupid stuff. Like one couple went to the ATM. Obviously when they take a picture when you're at the ATM, at the camera in there, so they got them. They're walking around with like a wig, and one of the guy was like 6'8". Like, come on, they're gonna find you. And then another one, like these people were out in the woods for like 5 days. They couldn't find them, and then like they decided to go to like their friend's house in a cabin, and then that's when they
Hmm.
got caught. So it was good, but I don't think they're bringing it back.
Oh, that does sound interesting.
Then and then I think the only other one I watched was 90 Day
Oh yeah.
Fiance. That's like people that marry
Oh yeah. I
or
watched
you
that.
date you date people that are overseas, and they're trying to get them like a K-1 visa. That one's funny sometimes, but
Yeah, it is funny. Sometimes some of the like the couples are just like ridiculous and whatever, but some of them are funny.
yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.